Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this week's MPI's Marketers and Experience Designers Community Education Session. We are thrilled to have Matt Mays with us. He is a sought-after speaker, a published author, and has served as a producer, director, manager, and educator in a variety of live entertainment and theoretical educational organizations. He has written a couple of books, one of which I read that was called Take the Fear Out of Team Building, and it is a really insightful book. And because of that, we have invited him to talk to us about the value of team building. Hopefully, you will participate interactively with this event, because as a team builder, Matt is all about making sure that we get that interaction and that connection with each other. So feel free to chime in, raise your hand, put emojis up, really participate, because Matt wants to get feedback. With that, Matt, I will pass it to you.
Thank you. I should have you introduce me every time I'm presenting somewhere. You make me sound good. Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here. I do want to say I've got a lot going on my screen right now because I've got a number of different components that I'm going to be using today. So if you're putting something in chat or doing a hand or something and I don't see you, feel free to jump in and say, Matt, whoa, slow down. You're missing me, because I may not see you. So please do let me know. All right. So I fell into team building 11 years ago by being in the right place at the right time, or maybe the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm not really sure, but I love it. And I'm so glad that I did. I recently heard on a podcast somebody telling a story when he was starting his business, and I don't remember all of the specifics, so forgive me, but he had a potential client say, "Convince me why I should hire you." And I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. And then he went on to explain that he really wanted to work with people who got the value of what he was providing and wanted to work with him from the ground up. So my hope is by the end of our time together today, you won't need or want to be convinced, but you will be the one saying to your clients, or wanting to say, I shouldn't have to convince you why you should do team building, but I will. Here it is. So what I'd like you to do, don't write this, don't verbalize it, just think right now of your favorite bad word. What's your favorite bad word? Got it? Shouldn't take that long to figure out. Now, don't verbalize it, don't write it, just think of other bad words your mother taught you not to use. I promise I won't tell her. Think of those other naughty words. All right, that's enough. Now, what I'd like you to do, how many of you, raise your hand, let us know if you thought team building when I just asked you to do that. Anyone? Okay, good. Whew. You've made me very happy on this Thursday afternoon. Correct. Why? Team building isn't a bad word, but why does it have a negative connotation to so many? I don't know. Is it because, well, all right, let me ask you, and go ahead and use the chat feature here. What do you think of when you hear or read team building? Let's see what people have to say about that. Ugh. Go ahead, come on, we're all friends here. Silly games, weird poses. I promise I won't hold it against you. All right, moving on. Engagement. Oh, Mark, are you that guy that was the suck up in class, or do you really feel that way? I'm hoping it's the latter, but it is what it is. So did anyone, no, none of you said anything about value. None of you said positive experiences. I took a poll back in June because I want via various social email platforms and an e-blast. And I asked what people thought of when they heard team building. These were some of my favorites. Now I did receive very matter-of-fact answers, and I received some positive answers, but a lot of them were not so hot. Ugh, there we go. Trust falls. A lot of people think about trust falls. Oh, goody. Badly assembled bicycles. Bicycle building programs were the most popular team building program in the country for a long time. Now I've found people are kind of burnt out on them. Not everyone. Many people have done them, so it's not as hot as it was, but they were very hot. Another UGG, kill me, hell is real. That was one of my favorites right there. Why do people feel this way? Is it because they have fear? Is it because they have bad experiences? Is it because they don't recognize that they were experiences, but they were just programs of no value? So what isn't valuable? I start off all of my experiences telling people what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to take you whitewater rafting, not going to take you ziplining. We're not playing paintball. We're not doing trust falls, I promise. And we're not going to listen to speeches like I'm giving you right now. But what do I do? What does add value? Putting people who may or may not work together on a daily basis in a room together and allowing them to organically experience team building. That is, to me, the way it should be done. Don't beat a dead horse. How do I do that? By giving them challenges, interaction, competition, and prizes. And yes, sometimes it does involve building a bicycle. That's just the way it is. But if you do that, you will find the value because you're creating an experience, not just delivering a program. One of my competitors that I used to freelance for always says, oh, I'm delivering a program. No, you should be creating an experience. Okay, so what is one of the biggest value? One of the biggest values is that team building can pay dividends over and over and over and time again. One of the things I love to hear 3, 6, 8 months after an event are and these are true stories. One was that somebody told me, I went to a cocktail party the other night and I had to bring an appetizer. I had no idea what to bring. I had a crazy busy week. And then I remembered something we made at a culinary team building experience. And I made it. It was so easy. I remembered how to do it. I took it. Everyone loved it. Yay! All because they participated in a team building experience previously. Another one that I really love is when a client will call me and say, hey, you produced a team building experience for us such and such months ago at such and such. Yeah, right. Okay. And well, I want to tell you a story. Frank from our New York office had a problem recently, and he remembered Sally from the LA office talking about it while they were doing the team building experience, building bikes, for example. Okay. Well, until that point, Frank only knew Sally as a name and an email address in the company directory, but he remembered her talking about something during their team building experience, picked up the phone, novel idea today, and called her and said, hey, we were on a team together. Can you remind me, you were talking about a program and a problem you had with it. Can you remind me what you did? She told him, right. He used the same tactics, problem solved. All because they had an experience together where they weren't talking about, they were talking about business, but it wasn't the focus. It just happened to be conversation, right? So those types of continual dividends that you get are a major value to a company. There are a number of commercials out right now with Joe Montana. And one of them that I saw recently, and I tried to find it, and I can't find it. So I don't have the verbiage exactly. But it was, he says something about this football makes a team out of 11 players. And the minute I heard it, I wanted to slap my head and say, are you kidding me? No, it doesn't. A football may be a common element that the 11 players all rally around, and it may be the product or the item around which they develop a team, but people working together is what makes a team. A football does not create a team. It's the people working together, right? So that I would like to now, if I may, jump into who we are. This is an experience I developed at the beginning of the pandemic. And the intent for this really is more to people who need to learn about each other. I had a client early on last year who had major conglomerate, 2 teams that had never worked together, didn't even know each other. We did this over, I think, 5 or 6 weeks with one group and then 4 or 5 weeks with another. And it's basically, I call it water cooler getting to know you. So what I'd like you to do now is I'm going to call on you, and we have a couple people who are not sharing their screens, and that's okay. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Don't go away, Mark. I'm still going to call on you. All right. I'm going to ask you a question. So when I ask you a question, just give me the first answer that comes to you. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. I promise. All right. This is a friendly group, and anyone who's listening to this later on, don't judge. You are not in the hot seat. All right. So I am going to pull up my participant list here just so I have it. And I'm going to start with our fearless host, Eva. Eva. See, I'm doing it. I just talked to her about this the other day. Eva, do you have any clothes that you've had for more than a year but have never worn?
No.
Anna, you're up next. Anna, who was your childhood hero? Do we have Anna? Anna, are you there?
She must be on mute.
All right, well, yeah, she is muted. We'll come back to you, Anna. Get ready. Andrea.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Who was your childhood hero?
My childhood hero, my mom.
Excellent. Good answer. I'm going to be ready to unmute yourselves because I'm going to keep going through this kind of rapid fire, everybody. Andrea, you are next. Where is one place on your bucket list that you would like to visit?
Thailand.
Jenny, are you a leader or a follower?
Would say a follower, but I should be a leader.
Would your friends agree with you that you are a follower?
I'm not sure.
Would your colleagues agree with you?
No.
Okay. Mark, you guys are jumping around on me here. Mark, what was the last gift you gave someone?
The last tip?
Gift.
$5 to the server.
What about a gift, as in like a present?
Oh, a present. Last gift would be books to my mom.
Cool. Rick, rise and shine, Rick. Rick, do you like your handwriting? Do we have Rick? Rick may be on a call. He's muted and. All right, I'm going to move on. Back to Eva. Eva, when was the last time you took a bubble bath?
Last week.
Excellent. Anna, I'm back to you. Anna, what was your first ever job?
Customer service agent.
How old were you?
18.
And what were your responsibilities?
To handle complaints.
Okay. Andrea, I'm back to you. Andrea, how many places have you lived in your life and where have you lived the longest period of time?
Where I currently live, I've lived the longest period of time, and I have to count. 1, 2. Sorry, we were military for a while. I'll say 12. We'll cut it off at 12.
All right. Never fails that that question winds up going to a military person. And I'm just doing these in random order, folks. So Jenny, have you ever used a Ouija board?
No.
Mark, let me see here. Mark, what's your favorite kind of music?
Gotta be classic rock.
Classic rock. Awesome. Rick, do we have you? Rick, calling Rick. Rick, Dr. Rick, coming to surgery. Still no Rick. Okay. Eva, we're back to you. Eva,
Okay.
do you still have your tonsils?
Yes.
Anna, have you ever bungee jumped? And if not, would you?
No, and I wouldn't.
Andrea, what is your mobile phone wallpaper?
The beach.
Jenny, back to you. What fictional place would you most like to visit?
Fictional.
That's hard.
Hmm. Desert island somewhere. Yeah, fictional.
Where am I? Who was let's go to Mark. Mark, what fad or trend would you like to see come back?
Elephant pants.
Okay. Eva, what job would you be terrible at?
Rocket scientist.
Me too. Don't ask me to do math or science. Anna, what skill would you like to master?
Public speaking.
Okay. Andrea, what website do you visit most often?
Gmail.
All right. Jenny, back to you. No. Jenny. What is special about the place where you grew up?
It's a very well-known country, known for its wonderful chocolate, watches, and banks.
Switzerland, I'm guessing.
Switzerland.
That's a good guess.
Rick, do we have you? Rick? All right. If somebody sees Rick later, he'll pop in or whatever, let me know. Mark, back to you. Mark, what popular TV show or movie do you just absolutely refuse to watch?
Grey's Anatomy.
Good choice.
Eva, if you suddenly became a master at woodworking, what would you make?
Tables and chairs.
Anna, what could you give a 40-minute presentation on with absolutely no preparation?
Travel. Incentive travel.
Sounds good. All right. Where am I? Who was that? That was Andrew. No, that was Anna. Andrea, if you were the dictator of a small island nation, what crazy stuff would you implement?
You have to own a dog.
I hear that one a lot. All right, we're moving on to what I call level 2 questions. So these are a little less mundane, I guess. All right, who did I, Mark, if money were no object, what kind of party would you throw and where would it be?
A Hawaiian, not a powwow. What do they call them?
Luau.
Yeah. Yeah. And it would happen in Maui.
Okay. Andrea, if you could meet yourself as a teenager, what one thing would you tell yourself?
Study harder.
Anna, describe the color yellow to somebody who is blind.
That's so difficult. Oh my God. It's intense. It's very feels like I don't know. That's too hard. I will stay with intense.
With intense. Eva, a penguin enters this video conference right now wearing a sombrero. What does he say and why is he here?
It's taco time. Hurry up. Give me a margarita.
Jenny, what is one thing you've done in life that you don't think anyone else here has done?
I guess growing up speaking French.
Anna, what is your greatest pet peeve?
My greatest pet peeve, that I need to see everything organized.
Andrea, which celebrity would you want as your BFF and why?
Can we say none? None.
And Mark, I'm going to wrap this up with you. Mark, which scar has the best story? Which of your scars on your body has the best story?
This one right here.
Your camera's off.
Yeah, cheater, I'm saying, where is he?
Is my camera off?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to my camera? Hold on a second. Let's see if I can fix that. Sorry about that. Huh.
Describe it to us.
There we go.
There you
So
go.
it's a scar right there.
And you go ahead.
Anyway, that's the scar that has the best story.
Can you give it to us in 20 seconds or less? Do you want to? If you don't, that's okay.
I helped a lady who was being mugged, and the guy turned around with a knife and slashed.
Wow.
But he ran away.
Oh, well,
Easy.
you're a superhero. Good for you.
Oh, not really.
So this could go on forever, but we're not going to. The point of this is, or what is the point of this? The point is that it's all about people, right? Getting to know people as people. How many of you knew that Mark helped a lady who was getting mugged? My guess is none of you, and you probably all worked with Mark or known Mark for quite a while, right? People are the foundation of all business. Getting to know people is valuable. All right, moving on. Team building experiences. I hear very often from clients, we want to do a team building experience at the end of a 3-day conference to wrap it all up and leave everyone with a great rah rah sis boom ba. Okay, no problem. We can do that. However, have you thought about doing it first? Well, why? Well, this is, say, for example, a conference of 500 people who are all over the country, right? They come together once a year. Yeah, a lot of them don't know each other, right? Correct. Well, if you do it first, you're getting these people to immediately build connections and get to know each other. You're alleviating anxiety building up for people. Remember the bad words? Team building wasn't one of them, but why does team building have such a negative connotation? The anxiety building up over 3 days of, oh, we got to do a team building. What is he going to make us do? Medals. People love to win stuff. We give away medals and almost gold medals I'm talking about, and they're nice. They have value. They're not a 99-cent party supply store. I always encourage people, wear them to the cocktail party tonight. Wear them all week. Let people know you were the rock stars that won this competition. It provides talking points, right? So when you go to the cocktail party that night, you at least know 9 other people who were on your team of 10 that morning, right? So it also provides a talking point where you can, if you're, hey, we won, yeah, or somebody else comes up and says, we were robbed. You guys totally stole that from out from under us. You see the value? Doing it first helps provide value. Another thing I always try to tell people is, oh, there we go, I'm a slide behind. And a day late and a dollar short, all of the above. Make it fun and engaging. People like to have fun. How many of you, let me see a show of hands, how many of you remember, not the remake, the original Mary Poppins movie? Eva, Andrea, Mark, Jenny, no? They didn't have Mary Poppins over in Switzerland? All right, spoonful of sugar. I guarantee you it's going to be in your head for the rest of the day now. But the first 4 lines of that song are, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job's a game. Well, we know that fun isn't typically a metric used in the corporate world. I'm a huge Hallmark film junkie. I admit it. Judge me all you want. I'm okay with it. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love them. I saw one recently, and the quote was, I know that fun isn't typical metric in the corporate world, but I mean, you know what it's worth. Because fun allows people to relax and be fully themselves, which makes them productive and more engaged, and that affects the bottom line. Oh, and increase bottom line. Value, fun has value, fun team building, value, make it a full experience, value. Get what I'm saying here? Unexpected roadblocks, COVID-19. I will tell you, when this happened, my immediate thought was, oh my goodness, how am I going to reinvent myself? What am I going to do? Team building is done. Very early on, I started getting requests for people for virtual events. And I thought, well, this is good because people are recognizing right away that now where we're physically distanced, it's possibly even more important than it was before. And as we move back to live face-to-face events, we want to create experiences. It's even more imperative than before because we have to reconnect. We have to reconnect in so many ways. We have to reconnect as colleagues. We have to reconnect as team members. We have to reconnect as people. Humanity, going back, we're all people. People are the foundation. See? Cool. All right. So with that, we said we are not going to invest $50,000 in a platform or a game with fireworks and dancing people and graphics and whatnot for you to play because you're only distancing yourself. You're focused on the game. Our concept was to have interactive, talent hosted, so you have a live host, experiences where you're working with each other. A lot of game shows, one of our game shows is Name That Tune. Now, it's a two-person operation when I do team versus team, so we're not playing that way today. We're going to play the mano a mano version, where every person plays for him or herself. That means, just because I can't do 48 things all at once. So this version is really great if you have a large group. Well, we got to get them together and having fun. I encourage you, I know it's being recorded, usually they're not, have fun, let loose, dance, have a good time. Let's just see what happens here, okay? Now I need to pull this up. Give me a hot second, please. All right. I am going to drop in the chat feature here to everyone a link. Go ahead, click that link, and there we go. So it'll show you up top that Wiley we're able to customize with a company name or a logo. People like to see that. They're not expecting it. Oh, okay. It gives value because they know that you're truly invested in them and the company. So is everyone registered? Anyone not registered? I'm going to pull out of my chat here and make sure I can see you all. Yes? Okay, cool. So this is how we play this. I am going to I'm going to tell you, name this tune, and you're going to hear 5 seconds of a clip. Now you only have 5 seconds, so make sure you pay attention. And I don't play it again. I only play it once. All right. The first category is called Just Fun. So these tunes are just that, just fun. All right. Let me make sure. I'm going to share my computer audio now. Okie dokie. Here we go. Are you ready, everyone? I'm going to take that as a yes. Go ahead and see if you can, and as soon as it starts playing, the game will start. So, and you'll have options. See if you can name this tune. You've got 14 seconds remaining. Go ahead. See if you can name that tune. Jenny, you're laughing. I like that. You either have no idea or you're having fun with this.
No, I picked the wrong answer.
Oh, well, we don't know yet. Do we? Oh, yes. I'm thinking Jenny picked You Can Dance, which is not the correct answer. The correct answer is Dancing Queen, which the rest of you got. Congratulations. All right. See if you can name this next Just Fun tune. Oh, don't you dare look back. That's it. That's all you get. It's fun. It's popular. You got 4 choices. You got a 25% chance. Oh my goodness. Everyone's voted. We still have some time left. I will tell you, nobody got this correct. The correct answer is B, shut up and
Is it?
dance. It is, I promise, it's just shut up and dance. All right, see if you can name this next tune.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside.
4 choices, 25%. The votes are coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, everybody's in. The correct answer is Hooked on a Feeling. Hooked on a Feeling. All right, moving along in the same category, just fun. See if you can name, oh, this takes me back to my college days, and I just dated myself. See if you can name this tune. Eva is not sure about this one. I love the looks. All right. One person has it correct. Two, okay. 2 people, the correct answer is Mbop by Hanson. Mbop, the Hanson brothers. All right, and our last question for this round, see if you can name, or excuse me, for this category, see if you can name this tune.
Sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood.
4 options, 4 options. 2 people know it. Oh, 4 people. Oh, it is Can't Stop the Feeling. JT. All right, let's look at our leaderboard and see where we did. See how we did here. Anna, woo, look at her, first place, followed by Mark, Jenny, and Andrea. Eva. We're gonna have to give you some music tips. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do you all want to play another 5 songs, or is that good?
We're
It's up to
good.
you. You're good. All right. So there you go. So that, what is the point of that? Let me get out of here and get back to my notes. Stop sharing my sound. Go back to.
I think this is a really good explanation of what it is like for people that experience this at an event. And it's amazing how much I've learned for just a couple of people that are colleagues. It's fun. This is really fun.
Eva, oh my gosh, you just made my whole week. Be still my beating heart. Oh, good. You had fun. You've learned about each other. There's value in that. You want to be with each other more, I hope. I'm telling you, you do. So here, you see, even though you were not playing on teams, which we could have if I had another host and whatnot, you see how just playing a game together is still fun. Now, if we had kept going on, we would have done another 5 songs, 10 songs, check the leaderboard again. Oh, people start talking smack. I guarantee you the chat feature blows up. You, no way, you cheated, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Mic on. Can you hear me? Yes? I got a chat. Yes, okay, good, cool. So you can see how having fun is valuable because you're getting to know each other. You're having a good time. It doesn't all have to be all work and no play. All work and no play makes Jack, Jackie, Julie, whomever, a dull kid, right? Oh, there I am, I'm late again. Including a give back. All right, if your client has a CSR mission, this is a great way to add value to that. Giving back feels good. People inherently like it. I'm telling you, whether it's bikes or tricycles or rocking horses, when those little kids come running through the door, I challenge you to find a participant who may be the biggest Scrooge not to say, and maybe have a little bit of a smile in the corner of his or her mouth. It's giving back feels good. We are inherently, I believe, good people. Yes, we're competitive and we like to win. Hello. Early on in school, what do we get? We get good grades for our efforts, or we don't for lack of effort. What's the biggest win of all? Powerball, jackpot, right? Or the main jackpot. People play lottery, whether it's a scratch off or for the biggie. People want to win stuff. So again, giving back is a win because we like to feel good. You're contributing to the local community. All of these things add value to the experience. Content. Content, I'm often one of the last vendors brought into a team for an overall event or an experience. Why? Because you got to get your transportation. You've got to get your, I'm talking big conferences. You've got to have your rooms, sleeping rooms. You've got to have your meals set. And you certainly have to have the content of the overall experience, because that's ultimately why the bigwigs are spending the big bucks. Content, of course, is king, but collaboration is queen. Now, how many people do you all collaborate with to produce a successful experience? I mean, tell me the biggest number of people you've ever had on a team. Anyone?
35.
Sometimes the team gets to be like 10 or 15 people, different organizations, entities, and groups.
Mark said 35. Yes, you may have F&B and you have your hotel and your transportation and your team building and your decor and your entertainment for the gala. And yes, everybody may have their specific function, but if it doesn't all blend together for an overall experience because people are collaborating, it's not going to work, at least not the way you and your clients want it to. So collaboration is where it's at. Action leads to insight. How many of you remember my very first slide? What was it? Who can tell me what not the title slide. What was the first content slide I showed? Convince me why. Convince me why. Action leads to insight, which provides value. Successful managers at any level take action based on the possibility that a promising tactic is going to produce positive results. Positive results are the value of the action taken. Effective team building experiences equal action. Stronger, collaborative, communicative employees equal high results. There's the value. So hopefully, I've left some time for, I know we have an hour, but I left some time for Q&As. Talk to me. What can I answer questions for you? Did you get anything out of this? Eva, why do I keep calling you Eva today? Eva had fun and got to know about some of her peers here. Can I answer questions? Tell me, talk to me.
But Mark has his hand raised.
Yeah, Matt. So this is really great in using this for planning events and so on. But there's also there's still a lot of value in gamifying the workday. So for business organizations or people who are leading big teams, how do you suggest leaders go about gamifying a workday so that you have more collaboration and more insight into each other and getting people, I want to say, constructively colliding?
The simple short answer to that is, well, look, we've all heard, if you haven't, Google is known for its fun atmosphere. You can look online, you can see proposals that have taken place in the Google cafeteria. They have ping pong tables and pool tables and foosball tables in break rooms. They provide a fun atmosphere where you can take a break and have a good time. Who are you going to play with there? Your colleagues, right? You don't have your best friend from college there. Maybe you do, but you're having fun with your colleagues. I heard another story, and darn it, I wish I could remember the name of the company, but this stuck with me so strongly. When a new employee starts, the employee works in the morning, the new employee, and in the afternoon, that new employee pushes the beverage cart all around the entire office. That beverage cart has chips and candy, sodas, beer, wine. You can have a drink if you want, because it allows that new employee to stop at every cubicle or every desk or every table or whatever and meet people, right? You're the hero if you're coming around with beer in the afternoon, right? So all new employees start on a Friday. Your starting day is a Friday, or it's a one-day work week for you. So you're there doing intro stuff in the morning you need to do, and then you're going and meeting everyone as the hero, bringing goodies around Friday afternoon. They also give you a $100 gift certificate to go out to dinner to celebrate your new job with your spouse or your friend or whomever that weekend, to talk about your first day. Hopefully it's going to be all positive and everything that happened to you. And you're going to love coming back Monday morning. So those things, again, going back to fun. Fun makes people happy. There's a line in Legally Blonde. I don't know if it's in the movie. I know it's in the musical. It's when Elle Woods, who's the defense attorney for the woman on trial, who's an exercise queen, says, exercise raises endorphins. Endorphins make people happy. Happy people just don't kill. In addition to that, happy people are more fun to be around. They're more productive. They're more energetic. So I think the short answer, or maybe I'm going on, the long answer now, Mark, is provide fun outlets, whatever they may be, in your work environment, whether it's an office or a warehouse, so that people feel good about themselves and each other, which is ultimately going to help them collaborate on the tasks at hand.
Love it.
That was an answer to a short question. I apologize.
No, it was good. It's made me one of the exercises that we do is we do virtues picks. Virtues projects has a bunch of different cards, and one of the things that we'll do before each meeting is we'll take about 45 minutes to do a virtue pick, where you pick a virtue, you read the card, then you say how this virtue affects you, or how you'd like to do better at this particular virtue, or how this virtue affects you today, and that sort of thing. And then people go around creating acknowledgement. Well, we never have really angry meetings.
Because you're thankful, right? We're thankful, and we're
go through the
sharing
whole
that.
exercise of gratitude. Yeah,
Exactly. There's a story my father used to tell, and I don't remember all of the details, but this is another really good example. If you ever have a sales group, and rather than listening, and yes, of course, we need to listen. And again, content is king. We need to deliver content to employees and whatnot. But at the end of the short of a long story is at the end of the presentation, the presenter asked everyone to stand up and lift up their chairs. And at the bottom, underneath the chair, was a dollar bill taped to the bottom of the chair. The moral of the story is you got to get up off your duff to make a buck. So right there, you're infusing humor. And that's another thing, is getting people to be active. How many people are in sedentary positions all day doing this, even more than ever now? My office has been in my home for years, and I used to get zombie, screen look. And my mother said to me at one point, you need to get up every 45 minutes and walk and do something for 5 minutes. And she's totally right. Go get the mail once, throw a load of laundry in once. Even if I'm still being productive, I force myself to get up every 45 minutes and get my blood flowing, go outside, so that I don't get tunnel vision. And now, of course, with work from home, when you've got potentially, I'm generalizing, kids screaming and dogs barking and everything, and if you can tune that all out, you're really focused. What are you doing for yourself? And is that healthy, and is that productive to what you're trying to accomplish for work?
Priya has her hand up.
So what do you recommend doing with a group who is inherently not fun? It's a group of scientists, so they're a little more very reserved. What do you recommend with that? I mean, obviously, it's harder now because we're all working from home. And there's a lot of reluctance. We desperately need team building, but there's a lot of reluctance.
So it's definitely a work from home. It's not a face-to-face experience.
Right now, we're not allowed to do face-to-face by our parent organization. So, and I don't know when that will be released.
Well, I hope soon, for your sake. We played Name That Tune. there are two schools of thoughts. Let me back up. One is to keep them in their comfort zone. The opposite is get them out of their comfort zone. I think that's probably a lot easier. I'm going to stop sharing this so I can see you all a little bigger if you're not little tiny Brady Bunchies. Okay, so Andrea, I think it's much easier when you're face to face to get people out of their comfort zone because you can give them tangible tasks and you know, do this project, whatever it is. So for something like scientists, I have a couple of experiences that involve building structures that have to support the weight of a 10-person team using cardboard and duct tape and some other things. I don't know how it works. It's physics, it's columns, it's honeycomb. Somehow it works. Rocket science, even I'm not there, but it works. So that is something that these cerebral people will love to do. And then you throw in a little bit of creativity to stretch their legs and let them suffer a little, right? Because it's not their comfort zone. Work from home is really tough. What I would recommend something like that is, depending upon the size of the group, do trivia type games. If you have if you have a large group, a trivia game a la Name That Tune like we played, where everyone's playing for him or herself. You can also divide using that platform into teams, and you could have teams of 10 based upon region or where their office normally is, or just randomly, whatever. And when they register their first name, last name, they also register their team from a drop-down menu. So you get some team work, even though people are still working on are answering on their own. That would be one way to do it. For a smaller group, and again, I'm speaking from I don't want to sound sales pitchy, but from what my arsenal is, we have a couple of games that are trivia based. One is Hip to Be Square, and it's based on tic-tac-toe a la Hollywood Squares. And in that situation, we have two teams competing and teams of 8, and then 8 other people that are in the squares. And the host, you know, so you say to, like, you, Andrea, pick your square. Okay, I want to go with the center square. Great. Center square is Mark. Mark, here's your question. Trivia question. Mark answers. And then I say, Andrea, do you agree or disagree with Mark? So it's a cerebral thing, yet they're still working to try to win tic-tac-toe. We also have a Family Feud-esque game, Pole Pandemonium, which is less trivia based, but it's a little more fun. For example, we surveyed 100 people and asked them to name something you change when you move. So something like that, that's a common knowledge. I use air quotes. Do you know what I mean? To get them interacting and working together. I'm more than happy to talk with you offline if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd probably be good to talk via email. Thank you.
My pleasure. You know, call, and I understand we're all very busy. We can set up a Zoom call. We can set up a phone call if you don't want to shower or do your hair that day. It's all good with me. I'm totally good with it. And I also, if you're working on something, pick up the phone and call me. Leave a voicemail message. Don't assume I saw that you called, because if I'm on airplane, it drives me nuts. Well, didn't you see that you missed the call? No, I was in the air. My phone was on airplane mode. I don't know that you called. Leave me a message and I'll call you back as soon as I can. I'm not somebody who requires 48 emails and an act of Congress to set up a phone call. So just pick up the phone.
Do we have any other questions? Jenny, Anna? We good?
Yes.
Go
I
ahead.
had a quick one, actually, kind of along the same line, but really from an audience perspective. We've worked with 2 clients who have really a global audience, and we've realized, again, you know, some of the games that we do here for North America may not necessarily translate well for anyone from APAC region or, you know, Europe or whatnot. And so kind of trying to find that balance. I'm just wondering if you found certain games or you know, activities that really are working across the borders, or maybe some thoughts to that.
Yeah, Name That Tune.
Music.
Quite honestly, music is universal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That tune is if somebody says I have a global international audience, do Name That Tune.
Okay.
Under the team versus team version, you would be up and you would select the category of music that you want from a list of about 24. So somebody who's my age is going to know 1980s music pretty well. A millennial, or whatever the new teeny boppers are called these days, isn't. But that's the opportunity for them to rise and shine. Those millennial teeny boppers are going to know probably, well, I don't know, Jonas Brothers are old now too, but
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? So, but music always, because even if you don't know it, it breaks down the barrier. And I'm never one to encourage adult consumption during an event. Excuse me, I'm not one to demand it. It's totally up to you and your company. But with an adult beverage, people tend to rock out, and they just, and we're recording now. I don't ever record our experiences unless a client specifically asks, because people are afraid it's going to come back to bite them in the rear end, and they'll just be more authentic. No, they can just have a good time. But again, we can certainly talk offline if you'd like.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, I would really like to thank you, Matt, for taking the time to put a presentation together. You've really epitomized and re-emphasized the importance of taking the design aspect and connecting it to emotion, because that is the whole reason that events have an experience, is when emotion is an underlying bedrock, whether it's a competition, whether it's a community outreach, whether it is giving back, whatever the case is, if there isn't an emotional connection to the design of the event, your experience is going to be authentic, and it's going to be heart. It's going to come from the heart. It's going to connect hearts with each other, and it will really elevate that humanized factor of the event. So thank you for sharing your experiences. Thank you for giving us some insights in how we can ensure that we can craft team building in a real, authentic way and elevate for our potential audience. We really appreciate you. We look forward to having our future events. We have another one scheduled in November, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you again soon. Be safe and keep smiling.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you all.
This was great.
Take care.